It's time to review one of my 3D prints again. So those are the pieces of my 3D printed notebook stand. It's a dual notebook stand. I have two MacBooks that take up some space on my desk. It's the 2018 and the 2014 edition. And I wanted to put them on my desk standing up so they don't take up as much space. About 2 weeks ago I started with this idea here. I printed this, and as you can see already, because I printed this with PLA, the material has kind of given way to the weight of the notebooks because, well, in my experience, PLA tends to deform over time. This is really flimsy, and I thought this will not work, but I still tried it, so I printed two pieces. One I cancelled after, I think, 1.5 centimeters. This is the full height of the model that you can get on Thingiverse. The link is down below in the description. So this is the idea. You just place them in some distance to each other, and then you can just take the notebook and slot it inside. As I mentioned earlier, it's flexible, which is nice, which means I can just angle it in somehow and it doesn't really scratch the notebook. In terms of stability, you can really bounce this about. It's not going to topple over, which is important for these things. And let's put in the second one, which goes around. Goes in this way. This is how it looks like. If you want to create your own version of this notebook stand, head on to the link on Thingiverse. I uploaded the source files I created with Blender. Blender is an open source tool. Also look for the link in the description if you want to install it. Once you've opened the file with Blender, this is what you will see. To edit this model and to adapt it to your notebook sizes, you can do the following. Hit the number 7 on the numpad to get the top view. Z to enable the transparency. Tab to open into edit mode of this object. Now hit B to get the box selection. Select this side of the stand, and you will see that on all the edges that are selected we can see the length of the edges. So you can see it's 10 centimeters tall and so on. So if I hit G to grab those selected elements, you see the number 19 popping up. This is popping up because this is the edge that will be affected by the movement, and we can see that this is the 19 millimeters, which is the thickness of the older MacBook that I have. Now if I grab this, I need to make sure that my movement is along the y-axis, so I'm going to hit Y. You see the screen line popping up, and now when I start moving the mouse I can see that it's moving. Or I can just hit the number 2 to move it by 2 millimeters and so on. So if I hit escape, I want to cancel it, so start over. Hit G to move it. We see the number 19 for the width of this section that is modified, and then Y to align the movement. Use your mouse to drag it. You can see the value changing. And if you want to go from 19 to 21 millimeters, we can see we want to move it down. We can see in the bottom left corner the negative value, so we just type in -2 and we'll end up at 21 millimeters. Hit the enter key to confirm. If you want to change the other section of the model, just hit B again, select this part, grab along the y-axis, maybe by 10 millimeters again, 10 millimeters, hit enter to confirm. Or if you want to change the height of the model, just use the box selector to select those vertices, hit G to grab, then along the x-axis, and you can change the height. To give you a better idea what's happening here, you can take a look at this view from a different angle again. So we can just rotate it here and make it non-transparent, so you can see this is the object. So if you hit 1, it's the front view, or 3, it's the side view. If you hold shift, you can move it about in the space. So if I'm operating in the left hand view, I can just grab along the x-axis and you can see it's changing the height. Or if I'm modeling this section here, the width of those sections. And then you're done. Once you're done, you can go into the file menu and then export it as an STL file. And this is what you can put into your slicer to 3D print it.